Donald Trump is going to buy a crypto exchange. That's right, guys. That is the word on the street, according to people close to Donald Trump. And I tell you, everybody is very, very, very excited about this. They think this means that Bitcoin could go to $1 million. And let me tell you, if Donald Trump buys an actual crypto exchange and actually allows people to come on and exchange crypto, that would be one of the most bullish stories in crypto, and that is what everybody is talking about today. I'm not a financial advisor. And I'm going to tell you why it's not true at all. I don't want to be a buzzkill, guys. And I'm not saying that the story is not true, but I want to break down, and this is why you watch this channel, because I'm going to tell you, I was there. I was there for all of this. I was around when Bakkt was started. I made a ton of money listening to CryptoFace, shorting Bitcoin the day that Bakkt launched. So I have a lot of history with Bakkt. And let me tell you one thing very quickly. I was at an Atlanta Braves game probably about 2.5 years ago. 2 years ago, probably it was. Maybe a year and a half ago, actually. It's probably over the summer of 2023, maybe. And so what happens is I'm there, and a guy walks up to me and says, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm like, okay, I know he knows I'm the big boy. Everybody knows I'm the big boy. So he comes and he talks to me, and he was a really nice guy, and he actually worked, or was right then, he was working at Bakkt. It's in Alpharetta, Georgia. It's not too far away from the stadium. It's not too far away from where I live. And he tells me, he says, "Oh yeah, I work for Bakkt." I said, "Oh my gosh, like the Intercontinental Exchange, the company that owns the New York Stock Exchange, that's who you work for? You work for Bakkt? That's pretty cool. Wow." And he told me something very, very, very surprising. Look, I guess it's not surprising. I'm always flattered when I hear things like this. But he told me, he said, listen, he said back in 2020 and 2021, he said everybody that worked at Bakkt was watching my videos, and they were crushing it, making a lot of money. He said there were people that worked at Bakkt, or that worked at ICE, the Intercontinental Exchange. That's what the name of the company is. He told me there were people that literally retired from there because of watching my videos. And I just thought that was really cool. It was really cool to know that I've talked about Bakkt, and like there were people in there that were watching. I mean, everybody was watching my videos, or either willfully not, in 2020 and 2021 as crypto was heating up. But I thought it was really interesting to hear that I was having kind of an impact there. And, the thing is, I told him, I said, "Oh man, like what's going on with the platform? Like what's going on with it?" And he said, "Well, we don't do futures contracts anymore, derivatives. That's what they started out doing, futures." And he said that they actually were now doing like crypto custody for really large companies. And I don't even remember. I've read that they also do some crypto trading on an institutional level. It's not retail. Retail's not using it. When back in 2019 when it launched, we were all told that you were going to be able to buy Starbucks through Bakkt, and none of that ever happened. It was a big failure, actually. It was a gigantic failure. Just like, by the way, the CBOE, the first futures contracts that, basically crushed the market in 2017 in December, that really ended the bull market and brought institutions into crypto, also a big failure. They don't even have CBOE futures contracts anymore. CME is really the only one that's big in the game. That's why we talk about the CME gap a lot. I'm telling you guys, you don't get this stuff on any other channel. You go watch every other video about this stuff. Nobody's going to tell you this stuff because they weren't there. I've been here for 13 years now, guys. I go back, I've got experience with everything that comes into crypto, and I can give you guys that added perspective to really, really, really understand the story that everybody else is just regurgitating what they read on, CoinDesk or whatever. Not everybody. There's some people who are okay out there. I don't know. I digress. There's some people who are good at what they do. Some people are good at trading, for sure. But look, here's the thing, okay? This is what I'm getting to. In 2021, Bakkt went public, okay? They merged with another company. And to my understanding, according to Mr. X, right now, and this is the big thing. This is a big thing. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody knows this. It's a SPAC. It's a special acquisition company, which are basically just special acquisition companies or SPACs. You may see people investing in them on the stock market. It's basically it's an easier, quicker way to raise money and get capital than a traditional IPO or going public per se. It's kind of a shortcut to go public, and they did it in 2021. Why did they do it? It's 2021, obvious, okay? So there was a bull run going on. They wanted to get out as quick as they could and get a public price. Now, the stock price did surge recently based on this Trump information. And I'm not telling you that this is not going to be a big deal. I'm telling you, this is not, in its current form, this is about money. This is about, okay, let me break this down even further for you so you kind of understand a little bit more even about how this may be going on. Do you know who owns Bakkt? Who owns the Intercontinental Exchange? I told you the Intercontinental Exchange owns the New York Stock Exchange, but who owns, or I think it's the owner. I think it is the owner, and maybe the CEO, but I think it is the owner potentially, or founder, or whatever. Maybe not the founder, but it is, I don't know the guy's name. It's Josh, is it Josh Leffler? Maybe he has, no, I think Kelly Loeffler kept her last name, maybe, I'm not sure. Kelly Loeffler, it's Kelly Loeffler's husband. Who is Kelly Loeffler? Kelly Loeffler was someone who Donald Trump made into a senator when, I think it was Saxby Chambliss or one of these guys from our area went into the cabinet of Donald Trump or got a higher position. And Kelly Loeffler basically was chosen by Donald Trump to take over. And then she ended up running, and she ended up, I think, losing the next time she ran. But Kelly Loeffler was a senator, not even a congresswoman. She was an actual senator. And she is the wife of the owner, right? So, okay, so here we go. Let's think about this a little bit. Do you know who is one of the key people who is helping Donald Trump's transition team with the inauguration? It's Kelly Loeffler. Kelly Loeffler. You know what Kelly Loeffler also got in trouble for? Insider trading. She was one of the Congress people or senators. Well, I guess they're all Congress people. But when I say a congressman, House of Representatives is the other one. But I digress. A congresswoman, she was one of 4 specifically that were called out for taking information about tech companies that they got inside of COVID, COVID meetings as COVID was getting going, and they went and made a bunch of money on the information by investments. And Kelly Loeffler said that, well, somebody else does all of her investments for her. And look, I'm going to say Kelly Loeffler. I actually think this is probably true. I think with a lot of these other senators and Congress people, I think they're lying about it. What I would say is, I think with Kelly Loeffler, it's really true. Do you know how much she's worth? $500 million. She's the richest senator ever, I believe, to come in, maybe. Or one of, anyways. So, Kelly Loeffler's on the transition team, basically, for all intents and purposes. I don't know that's official, but she is helping big time. And now Donald Trump is in talks with her husband to buy his company. Now, this being a SPAC, what does that mean? That means that right now, even though they have some institutional stuff that they're doing in crypto, the fact is you can take a SPAC and basically do anything you want. It's kind of like a blank check. You can take it and turn it into anything, okay? So him buying this company would not mean for sure that this is even staying in crypto. Now, you would have to think, with Donald Trump being the way that he is right now, that potentially this would have something to do with crypto. But I want everybody to hold their horses and realize that this is more about money. This is about money. SPACs, whenever you have a SPAC, it's always about money. It's not for doing things that you think are going to be great. People build those kinds of things slowly for the most part. They take time to structure them and form them. They don't make a company that basically is just an investment vehicle and say, hey, this is what we're going to use to change the world. People don't really do that with SPACs. It's all about money with these things. So remember that. This is going to be a way that Donald Trump is going to get a lot more capital in his pocket, I believe. Whether it's for crypto or whether it's used for something else, or maybe it's used for a merge of both, or maybe he just buys it and, sells it down the road. I just want everybody to understand that this does not mean that Donald Trump has a crypto exchange. If he does go through with his purchase, it is something we need to watch, we need to monitor, but it's much more important to realize that the media storm and hype that will come with that purchase will send prices a lot higher, whether or not there's actually a need for, there's purpose to it. So, of course, I'm out here ruining the narrative. Sorry, guys. But I want my audience, the Bit Squad, to be the very, very, very most informed. That's why you sign up for the NWF newsletter. Got a link to that down below. BitBoy Bootcamp is going to be coming soon. Got signups for that very, very soon, starting, probably the first week of December. So get ready for that. That's all I got. Be blessed.